Greetings, everybody. It's your old pal Frank here, and happy Thursday. And more importantly, folks, happy New Year's Eve. Yes, folks, today is the final day of the year 2020. Whew. What a year it's been, huh? So this is actually one of two videos I'm going to be doing today. The second, of course, is going to be my top 10 pickups of 2020, and I think you're really gonna like that video. It's a doozy, let's just say that. But this is actually a video response, or some might also call it a contest entry. Call it what you will. Anyway, so last night I subbed to a couple new channels. And it's through one of the new channels I subbed to that I found out about this contest. So last night I subbed StixG. Cool guy. I was checking out his content. He's got some cool stuff. And I highly suggest everyone out there watching this video go check out his channel. There is a link to it in the description below. And so while I was checking out StixG's channel, could hardly talk this morning. I'm still working on my first cup of coffee, so. But it was while I was checking out his channel, I saw his video response to a 400 subscriber contest by a fellow by the name of TheTicketLeprauchaun. And so, after watching that video, I decided to mosey on over to the TheTicketLeprauchaun's channel, took a look around, enjoyed what I saw, and, of course, clicked that big old subscribe button, which I highly suggest everyone out there watching does as well, after watching this, of course. So, yeah. So he's holding a 400 subscriber contest. Very simple. Of course, you got to be subbed to his channel and everything. And I believe the deadline is January 2nd. So there is still a couple days to get your entry in if you haven't already. Now, mind you, I believe he announced this contest on the 15th. But since I'm only finding out about it now, it seems like, I'm really biting the bullet to get this contest entry done. But anyway, so yeah, so you have until January 2nd, and it's very simple. All you got to do is do a video talking about some of the cool ways you acquired cards in your collection, some cool collector stories. Myself personally, I don't have a lot, but I am going to be talking about how I got 3 cards in particular in today's video. And if you don't have any collector stories, that's fine. All you gotta do is just go into the comments on his video where he's announcing the contest, and just simply write that you don't have any collector stories, and I believe you'll still be entered into the contest anyway. So, for those of you who are pretty much, I guess you could say, lifers to the channel, you guys have already heard these stories, but if there are any new subscribers out there, all I can say is sit back, relax, and enjoy some stories on how I got some cool cards. So, the first card we're going to be talking about covers the baseball part of my collection. And it has to do with this, what year is this? 2016 Topps. Well, actually, it's Bowman. This 2016 first Bowman of Vladdy Guerrero Jr. Ever since this card came out, I really, really wanted it, because I knew for a fact when Vladdy Jr. hit the scene, he was going to be hot stuff. And of course, with him being hot stuff before he even, touched the base path at the Rogers Center. His stuff was fire. And of course, trying to get this card when it first came out was pretty darn tough. At least in my neck of the woods. So, time goes by. And then one day I'm perusing Facebook Marketplace. And there's a gentleman selling a big random box of baseball cards. And I love that because you never know what you're going to find. So I hit the guy up and I asked him, I was like, hey, how much do you want for the box? And he's like, $20. Right there, I was like, sold. I don't care. Now, of course, it's a gamble paying $20 for a random box of cards because you never know what you're going to get. Like I said, I mean, you could have a whole box of 1990 Upper Deck and not have a Chipper Jones rookie card in there, or it'll be all, common players or whatnot. Or you could get lucky and there could be some really cool stuff. Well, in this case, there was some really cool stuff because I opened that box after the guy delivered it, which was really nice of him. And sitting right on top of the box was this card. And let's just say there was a little fella in my head doing backflips when I laid eyes on it, because I was like, oh wow, Vladdy Jr.'s first Bowman. That's pretty damn cool. So that's my first card story for you today. The second one deals with still to this day my love for Pokemon. Call me a kid, whatever, I don't care. I grew up with it when it became big on the scene, and I was in elementary school, and the card bug was huge. Well, anyway, we're going to be talking. The card we're going to be talking about that deals with Pokemon is, of course, one of the big boy cards, and it's none other than Charizard himself. Now, I got lucky with this. Actually, no. That's putting it too simple. I got extremely lucky with this because for those of you out there who, follow the Pokemon card scene, of course, it's the first edition stuff that is like insanely expensive. Then it's the Shadowless stuff, and then if you could get your hands on first edition Shadowless stuff, well, you got some real money sitting there. But even if it's just unlimited, which is this, so this was technically the second set. You had first edition, and then you had unlimited. Anyway, and yes, I know there was a base set too, and blah blah blah. But we're not talking about that. So anyway, so for those of you who are in the know with the Pokemon card world as of today, anything from the original sets, whether it be first edition, unlimited, jungle, fossil, blah blah blah, it's still worth money. And Charizard being one of the probably most sought after cards in the original set, this guy is worth tons of money in the right condition, like hundreds of dollars. Well, anyway, before the to put it lightly, poop hit the fan in March, one of the last card shows that I went to, like big card shows here in town, it was a 2-day event, and I went on the Saturday. I was looking around and everything, bought a whole bunch of hockey and stuff I was looking for and blah, blah, blah. And just before I was walking out, because the show ended at 5, just before I was walking out, I saw this one big table full of Pokemon stuff. Booster packs, trainer boxes, everything. Anyway, so I'm gazing across this guy's table, and I swear it was like a Star Trek, like in Star Trek, like a full-on tractor beam. I see this one binder open, and it was the first page of the binder, center card. It was this. And it was just like, I was like, holy, is that a base set Charizard? And I'm just standing there, I'm looking at it, and then finally I muster up the courage to call the vendor over, and I'm like, you know, I'm probably gonna hate myself for asking this, but how much do you want for the Charizard? So the guy, of course, he chuckles at that, and he looks at me and he goes, well, I want 40 for it. Yeah, $40. Now, the reason he was asking $40 for this Charizard is, well, from the front, you can't really tell. But if we turn it over, oh, there you go. As you can see right down the middle of the card, immense creasing. That is because when I saw this sitting in the binder, basically it was like curved, like really curved. And so he looked at it as just a damaged card. So that's why he was telling me, he goes, yeah, you know, I want to get $40 for it. And even at 40, that's like, holy moly, that's a great deal for a holo Charizard. And of course, while I'm talking with them, I got to keep, you know, the poker face going. But inside, I'm like, oh my god, it's a freaking Charizard and he only wants 40 bucks. I was going nuts. Anyway, so I look at it and I'm like, you're going to be here tomorrow on the Sunday? He goes, yeah. He goes, I'm going to be here. I'm like, okay, I'll be back tomorrow. And I swear that whole time, from after I saw it and spoke with the vendor, to the time I left the show, to the time I got home, to the time I went to bed that night, the only thing on my mind was Sunday, I'm waking up, I'm going back to that card show, and I'm going to get myself a holo Charizard. That's all I was thinking. And so I go back to the show. Sure enough, he's the first table I go to see. The card is still there in the binder. And then I get this little wave of courage over me to go, maybe I could haggle him a bit. Maybe I could get him to bring it down. Not that I wasn't ready to pay the $40. Oh, I definitely was. But I was like, maybe I could get him to bring the price down. Even $5. You know, I just wanted to see. So I see the vendor. He sees me. Hey, how you doing? Not bad. Not bad. You get, if you're gonna haggle in a way, you gotta kind of play the part, you know. So I'm telling the guy, I was like, I know you said 40, but unfortunately, all I have is $30. I'm like, would you be willing to let it go for 30? And he stops. He looks at the binder. He looks back at me and he goes, okay, I'll let it go for 30. So I give him my money, you know, shake hands. Well, thank you very much, you know, walk away. And I swear to God, I was like the Grinch. I was like a smile ear to ear. I couldn't believe it. And mind you, now trying to look for a second one to put in my base set binder. Yeah, I have a near complete base set. I think I'm missing a total of 13 cards to complete it. The majority of them being holographics. I think I'm missing like I think it's 5 or 6 holos. And I know for uncommons, I'm missing, there's a trainer I need. And when I looked it up online, it's like a $15 trainer card or something. And I think there's a couple commons or something. Or it could be just that one trainer and the rest are all holographic. I forget. But yeah, I know it's, I think, 12 or 13 cards is all I'm missing to have a complete base set again. And yeah, a Charizard is one that I would love to get to put in the binder. But as I was saying before, if you're familiar with the way the Pokemon card world is going right now, it's insane, some of the prices. So I don't know. But anyway, so that's my story on how I got a holo base set Charizard again in my collection. Used to have one when I was originally collecting, but you know, over the years, cards get lost. But yeah. And now this final card, again, for those who have been subbed to my channel for a while, they've heard me say this over and over again, this story, and you're gonna hear it again here now. But this has to do with the hockey side of my collection, and this story is on how I got this 1981 O-Pee-Chee signed Wayne Gretzky hockey card. Oh yes, I could already hear people out there going, "Oh, this story again." Anyway, so years ago, I was really into getting players' autographs. This was way before I decided to go, why not just take a picture with the player? Anyway, so I used to go down to the Bell Center where the Montreal Canadiens play. Yeah, I live in Montreal. And every practice, you know, every away team that would come to town, you know, anyone, you know, part of the Habs alumni group, anyone, I was down there. I was getting autographs left and right. Well, over time, seeing some of the other, you know, more, I guess you could call them professional autograph hounds who used to go at the same time as me, you know, I became friends with some of them. And one guy in particular, you know, I'd start striking up conversations with him every time I saw him. He was more into getting autographs from like the junior teams and that. Anyway, and I was talking with this one guy, and I told him 2 autographs that I would love to own in my collection were Bjorya Salming and, of course, Wayne Gretzky. Because again, who doesn't want a Wayne Gretzky auto in their collection, am I right? Well, unless hockey's not your thing, but anyway. So I'm telling him that, and he's like, "Oh man, a Gretzky auto, that's that's pretty impressive to get one of those." I'm like, "Yeah, no kidding." Anyway, so I see him, you know, throughout the year and everything, and then finally, it's the last game before the Christmas break, and I go down for the morning practice. I hung around downtown after they were done. I went and got some lunch, came back even. I hung out there during the game, You know, we were outside because I became friends with one of the Bell Center security guards. So hung out there during the game, chatting with the guy. You know, some of the autograph hounds were there, including this guy I'm talking about. And you know, we were technically listening to the game. And yeah, it was just really, really fun. Anyway, game is over. I'm getting ready to head home. And he taps me on my shoulder. He goes, "Hey, I got something for you." So I'm like, "Oh." And he pulls out of his pocket a signed Beuria Salmon card. I wish I had that here with me to show it to you guys, but I think it's either up at my storage locker or got lost, unfortunately. But anyway, so he taps me on the shoulder and he goes, "Here." I'm like, "Oh." And he hands me the signed Beuria Salmon card. I'm like, "Oh, dude, thanks." You know, guy didn't have to do that. Guy doesn't know me. Anyway. And so I put it in my pocket and go to walk away. He goes, "Oh, hey, wait, I got something else for you." I'm like, "Something else? Okay." And he pulls this out. 1981 O-Pee-Chee, Wayne Gretzky, signed by the Great One himself. And he hands me the card, and I'm like, "You're joking, right?" I'm like, this is a friggin', well, I didn't say friggin', I'm like, "This is a Wayne Gretzky autograph." And he goes, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Huh?" And basically, the guy told me back when the Habs used to play at the old Forum, so this is anywhere before 1996, and obviously when Wayne Gretzky was still playing, because even when he became coach of Arizona, the Habs were already playing at the Bell Center. Anyway, so he was telling me that now this could be true, or maybe he met him at a signing. I don't know. Maybe he sent stuff to him through the mail, because I don't know how Gretzky is through TTMs. Anyway, and the guy was telling me that after one particular game at the Forum, it was a February game, and it was snowing, and it was cold, and yada, yada, yada. Well, he waited by the player's entrance, and he waited and waited and waited, and it happened to be Gretzky was the last guy out. And he saw the guy waiting, and apparently Gretzky told him that, you know, if you're nuts enough to wait around in this kind of weather, he goes, "I will sign anything you want." So that's exactly what Wayne Gretzky did. And apparently the guy had like 12 cards. And apparently this wasn't this was no sweat off his brow, because he had 10 more like this signed. And apparently he got, I think, like a couple magazines and everything. Whatever he had for Gretzky to sign, he signed it. So that's why he was telling me, he goes, "Yeah, it's a card signed by Wayne Gretzky, but, you know, I have 10 more at home, so I really don't mind getting rid of one." And this is one of those things that I'm like, you know, for as long as I have my collection, for as long as I live, this card is always going to stay in there. So, yeah, just a random autograph hound I would talk with when I would go down to the Bell Center to get autographs. And it ended up being one hell of a Christmas gift one year. So that's how I acquired this signed Wayne Gretzky card. And yeah, to keep it safe, I keep it in this huge lucite brick. So yeah. And with that being said, folks, there's three, to me, interesting card stories. I hope you all enjoyed it. And again, if anyone out there has any cool card stories and you feel like telling them on camera, well, go check out the TicketLeprauchaun's 400 subscriber contest and take a crack at it. You know, you never know, you might win. And I believe there's 2 cards up for grabs. I forget what the first one is. I know it's something from the 50s, which is awesome. Anything vintage is great. And the second card is a Ricky Henderson rookie card. Yeah. So, you know, if you're one of the ones who's lucky enough to win, oh boy, you got a hell of a prize coming your way. Of course, I hope I win. But anyway, that's besides the point. But, yeah, go check out the TicketLeprauchaun's 400 subscriber contest. And a link, again, to his channel is in the description of this video. And before I sign off, I just wanted to say to Mr. Leprechaun, congrats on hitting the 400 subscriber mark. That's a very good, you know, that's a very good mark to hit on YouTube. Myself, I'm still trying to get to that 250 mark first, and then from there onwards, well, we'll go at it when we get there. But anyway, yeah. So congrats on hitting 400, and I look forward to seeing that number climb ever so higher in the future. So, folks, till the next video, which should be out probably in a few hours, I say to you, keep collecting what you enjoy collecting, and I'll see you all in the next one. And I think you're gonna like it. Later.